Oh boy, how's it going guys? Captain Kuba here, and oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Yesterday the rumors of the God of War Ragnarök DLC were finally confirmed, although the type of game we got is nothing anyone could have predicted. With that said, I'm sure a lot of you guys have some questions as to what type of game this is, and more importantly, what will this story be about. And even though the release is only a couple of days ago, I decided to do a small breakdown as always. First, I want to start by talking about what genre of game this is, Roguelite. I saw a lot of people confused about this name, so I thought I would give my best attempt at an explanation. Then I want to go over some observations I made from the trailer, and lastly, I want to give you my theory on how I think Kratos arrived in Valhalla, something I'm sure all of you guys want to know. So first, let's go over what type of game this is, the mysterious roguelite genre. It's hard for me to explain exactly what roguelite is because, as it happens with every genre, they evolve. But the core idea always remains the same. In roguelite genres, you do runs through procedurally generated rooms full of temporary as well as permanent perks. Temporary perks are lost upon death, while the permanent perks you keep when you wake up from death once again. Then you do the same thing again. You start your run, and because the game is procedurally generated, all of the rooms will look slightly different each time, which is good, but in my opinion it does get repetitive eventually, but there are games that do it very well and I don't even notice them. The three best in the genre in my opinion are Dead Cells, Hades, and Returnal. But Valhalla already seems to be doing something interesting that sets it apart from the competition. At the beginning of each run, you will be able to select the difficulty setting. Depending on the difficulty setting you pick, the runs will give you either weak or strong items. This could be interesting because it allows more people to personalize their own game. But on the other hand, it gives people the option to personalize their own game. I might be old school when it comes to this, but I prefer when developers just create one single difficulty level, which the game is meant to be played at. But who knows, maybe the reward system will incentivize people to try out different difficulties. And I just want to say that the idea of a roguelite inside Valhalla is possibly better than if it was found in the main campaign. The mechanic of dying and coming back to life goes really well with the mythology of Valhalla. I feel like this whole DLC was thought of with the old fans in mind. It's not that the new ones won't enjoy it, but man, a game where you take Ragnarok's comeback and let it shine by itself is a thing of beauty. That's not to say that this DLC won't have a story. Sure, the story won't be as complex as God of War 2018 or Ragnarok's, but it is an epilogue to Ragnarok, and anything we learn in it will be considered canon. It might even end, as many fans are saying, with a tease of the next game. This is certainly possible because we already see a Cyclops, and not just a Cyclops, because where he is 100% Greece. Kratos went to Greece in this scene, or at least is thinking of it, but this is Greece, okay? There's no two ways about this. So if Kratos is in Greece, it's possible that he might end up in Egypt as well, a place he's also been to before. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. So far, the only story details we know is that this will be a personal and reflective journey for Kratos, where he'll have to fight echoes from his past. This could mean actual physical threats like Modi, Magni, Balder, or Heimdall. Or echoes from his past might refer to important moments in Kratos' life that still have a hold over him, such as the moment when he killed his first family. To my knowledge, Kratos was never able to get rid of the memories that plagued his mind. He merely learned to control them. Maybe this DLC will be just about this, Kratos learning to control his mind once and for all, maybe get rid of the visions completely. It's also possible that these echoes from his past could come to Kratos' aid in the form of his old weapons. Imagine getting to play with the Nemean Cestus, the Claws of Hades, and even the Blade of Olympus. I say this because in every roguelite I've played, there's always different types of guns or like weapons you can pick up. So if they want to do this properly, I think they gotta add like different weapons. Man, it's just gonna be cool if we can also play with Mjolnir. Like, that's something fans really wanted. I know it's very similar to the Leviathan X, but I know it's something a lot of people wanted, and maybe this could be a way we could get to play with Mjolnir. I know Bruno, who turns out to be like one of the co-directors of the DLC, the day before they announced the DLC, was tweeting a gif where Kratos like would pick up Mjolnir. So that could be something, but it's not confirmed yet, but it would be really good if it happens. Now, in terms of details to break down from the trailer, I couldn't really find much. The truth is, the trailer is very short, and because the story is not the main focus of it, there's not much to cover. But let's give it a go regardless.
It's all part of the process. Let's go again!
One of the first shots that caught my eye was what I think is the first gate in Valhalla.
Master thyself.
This seemingly innocent sentence might be a callback to the gates of Ghost of Sparta that carry similar messages.
Know thyself, and your path shall be revealed.
At the top of the door, there also seems to be an angel of death representing Valhalla as a place of the afterlife. I find this odd because this statue just doesn't look very Norse to me. It looks more like it came from the Judean Christian worldview, but that could just be me, but it definitely does look like an angel of death representing Valhalla as the afterlife. The other shot that caught me off guard was this one. Why is it that a lot of rocks and debris seem to be floating around the environment? At first I thought this could just be the look of Valhalla, but then I remembered that the Spark of the World shares similar characteristics. And what being was created in the Spark of the World? Ragnarok. And as I'm sure you remember, Ragnarok destroyed Asgard at the end of God of War Ragnarok. So it's possible that what we're seeing here is Valhalla spilling over Asgard due to Ragnarok's destruction of the realm. Maybe Kratos needs to undertake this mission because the realm is in chaos, and since he's the closest thing we have to a ruler of the Norse pantheon, the responsibility falls to him. If this is the case, it could be really fun, because it means that we might have to fight dead gods from Valhalla, as well as gods that we didn't see in Ragnarok such as Forseti. Later in the trailer we seem to be both in Svartalfheim and Muspelheim, once again reinforcing the concept that these are ideas projected by Kratos' mind or even other beings that live in Valhalla. But I'm sure you want to know how Kratos got to Valhalla in the first place. People who know anything about Norse... you know what, before we get into the theory, let's do another badass Greek music intermission. People who know anything about Norse mythology know that one of the prerequisites to enter Valhalla is that you had to have died in battle. Something that didn't happen to Kratos in God of War Ragnarok. That's why I think Kratos had to be brought here by someone with control over the afterlife. And of course, that would have to be Mimir. This is something I talked about soon after Ragnarok came out in this video. But essentially what I go over in this video is a conversation that Kratos and Mimir have about Helheim.
Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Krasvogel.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hel's eagle wants to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be Hel?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become Hel, as it were.
I always took this conversation to mean that either Hildisvini or Mimir assumed the role of ruler of Helheim. And if you remember in God of War 2018, one of the qualities the realm of Helheim has is that it can show you memories of your past. Kratos had visions of killing Zeus, and Atreus had visions of Modi. It seems that this concept is somewhat related to what we will be doing in God of War Valhalla. Mimir being the new ruler of Helheim might have helped Kratos get inside Valhalla, the other side of the Norse afterlife. That's how I think Kratos arrived in Valhalla, through Mimir's help. But why Kratos wanted to go to Valhalla in the first place is not so clear. The best theory I've heard so far is that Kratos is on a mission to rescue Thor. But I'm not so sure because I don't think we can say Thor died in battle. But if this is the case, it could be really fun. Because a long time ago, I read a comment by one of my subscribers that blew my mind. I forgot to screenshot it, so I can't give the guy credit. So this theory did not come from me, but I wanted to share it with you guys regardless. What the comment said was that it's possible that Thor arrived in Valhalla after his death, but he doesn't remember who he is. This is based on that moment when Odin is helping some of the new soldiers that came from Valhalla by reminding them of who they were in life.
Great soldiers, these Einherjar are, but they tend to come out of Valhalla a little foggy. I do what I can for them, help them remember who they were in life. That's important, don't you think? A sense of identity gives things meaning.
If this happened to Thor, it could be like starting from zero. Again, I don't know if this will happen, but it could be a cool concept to explore. Most likely Kratos will just go into Valhalla to try and get rid of the memories that plagued his mind. I think that's the theory I'm sticking with at the moment. But what do you guys think of this game? I am beyond excited, which is why on December 12th I will be live streaming it. So if you want to hang out, make sure to stop by. I don't really have it scheduled yet, so it might be like at 8 AM, it might be at 12 AM if they release it at 12. I just know that December 12th is just gonna be a really fun day for me because, man, this DLC is just... It seems like it's fixing a lot of issues I had with God of War Ragnarok. If they do it right, there's probably gonna be gods there that we didn't fight. There's already Greek stuff. Okay, that to me is just like an automatic win. You know, like this just it's a free DLC. Like as long as you have God of War Ragnarok, this is free. You know, but damn, like they really blew my mind with this. I did not expect a roguelite DLC to be coming from Santa Monica Studios. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today, guys. As always, I want to thank all of my members for supporting the channel monthly. I couldn't do any of this stuff without your support, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I would also thank everyone who likes and shares my videos. I know it doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it really does help. And with that said, thanks for watching, and remember, go forth in the name of Olympus.